Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another tutorial on companion AI for CryEngine. Um, it's really great to create another tutorial. It's been a while since I created the last the last episode, and the reason why I'm not recording as much as I would like is that I have a full-time job, and then in my free time I work on my own indie project. And before the Christmas, I didn't really had that much time. And finally, I had some time to create another tutorial, and it's really great. I'm really grateful that I can do more of those tutorials and share my experience with CryEngine with you guys. And yeah, let's get to another tutorial. In this episode, we'll do um, like uh, let's call it points of interest. So basically, in Bioshock Infinite, you have certain points of interest that the AI character will go to and kind of inspect them or interact with them. And so that's what we're gonna do today in this tutorial. So first of all, what we need to do is set up some um, set up some copyright-free jazz music to the background. So let's do that. Yeah, okay. So that's the right background noise for the tutorial, and let's begin. So as you can see, I made the area a little bit larger, and first of all, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this a 10. So this is basically the value. This is the delay that's gonna take our AI character to find another position to go to. So I just set it to 10, so it's a little bit more realistic, and that the character is not just running around and is a bit more settled, let's say. Okay, another thing I would like to mention, I'm not sure if I mentioned it in the previous tutorial, since it's a lot of time since I did that. But if you want to create the radius a little bit smaller, like the radius for generating where the character will go, you can edit those numbers. And if you think he's going too far, you can let's say delete this, or go from start at 0.1 and 0.5 and end up in, let's say, 5. So that's 2.5, I guess. But this is like a smaller thing which you can do. And yeah, let's go to the points of interest. So added 2, but I'm probably gonna do just 1, and you can just add whatever more you like. So I added this radiator, which is the point of interest. I added proximity trigger, which is really important because we need to trigger that when the player is near it. And last I added this entity, which is called just entity 3, but it represents the position where the AI character will go. So if we would do that, let's say over here, we would probably put it somewhere in here or here. Doesn't really matter. You can also go with multiple ones, but I decided to add just one for the simplicity. And now we're gonna go to script. So basically I'm gonna delete everything in here, and we're gonna start with new one. Okay, so what I did behind the scenes is I added a gate to here, which basically it was like this, and I added the gate which will basically close this event, which is the generation of the new tag point that the player will follow, and I add a multiplexer, and when the player will enter the trigger, we want to close this and basically tell him not to follow the tag point. And when he leaves this, we want to open it again and basically let him free roam the environment. So yeah, holy moly, I accidentally deleted the thing that we're gonna need. Okay, so yeah, I also added a entity ID and added the human, which is our character. Yeah, human 1. Which is basically just a I think it's more simple to just drag this ID than to just select this and go over here and assign the entity. It's a little bit faster. So also I forgot to mention that some of the things I'm gonna do, I'm not prepared, so it'll be more interesting to kind of go over that, and it might not work on the first trial, is what I'm saying. So basically we want to have this trigger here, and we want to have a sequence. Okay, so we want after the actually let's add a delay of like 2 seconds so he won't run to it immediately. That way it'll be more kind of, it will look a little bit better if he just stops for a bit, if he just won't run to it right away. And after 2 seconds we want to start this sequence, which actually reminds me that we don't need the gate over here, but we actually need it over here. Yeah, that's the right way. Because we don't want to have this sequence when the player is inside a trigger. So we'll put it in here, and we just drag the output of the delay in here as it was. And okay, so when the player is in the proximity trigger, we want to wait 2 seconds and then start this sequence. And instead of the tag point, we want to have the destination entity to be this one, which I already mentioned that we're gonna use for the position. And we're just gonna drag the ID to our destination entity. And yeah, that should be pretty much all. I also added this animation, which will make the character do kind of animation that looks like he's kind of looking around. Let's say, yeah, it kind of looks that way, like he's looking around. Or you can also, there's a big list over here. You can go through it and assign whatever animation you like. I just wanted to kind of use this as as an example what you can play the animation after he kind of gets to the object of interest or the point of interest, to make him look like he's actually discovering something. So after this is done, we want to play the animation, and because I made it in loop, we want to stop the animation once the player will leave the proximity trigger. So yeah, that should be pretty much all. I hope it'll work, and I hope I didn't forget anything. Yeah. So let's jump to the game and let's see. So right now he's gonna going around. Yeah. And now we're in the trigger. And yeah, I guess that's the animation. It looks like he's kind of looking around. So yeah, and if we go away, you can see that he's again looking for some kind of, yeah, he's following the player again. You can also if you have some kind of sound, you can go to audio, trigger. I'm done with, I don't really have any sounds. Let's see if there's any. That's kind of cool. Let's see if there's actually voiceovers or something like that. So I'm not sure there is really, but again, I'm using Game SDK, but if you have your own AI, this will work as well. This is
What's that? What's that?
Actually, this is pretty good. And let's also add a display message. But because we do have this, we want to move it down a little bit. So that's Y coordinate. X is actually from left to right, and Y is from top to bottom. So let's set the Y to 75, and let's say, hey, I have found a radiator. Check it out. And you don't have to use the height input. You can just set the display time to, let's say, 3. And after this is done, we want to show this, and we want to play the trigger. That's really fun. So fun. And actually, after player leaves the trigger, I noticed that it'll take him a little while to find a new trigger, so a new location to go to. So after player leaves the trigger, we want the AI to follow the player immediately, not after the 10 seconds. Okay, so I'm just gonna walking around. Just go to the radiator.
What's that?
Hey, I have found a radiator. Check it out. So yeah, now if we go away, yeah, you can see that he's immediately going away as well. So that's pretty good. So this is how you use the companion AI, and how you can set up objects or points of interest. Actually, yeah, I was kind of thinking of how to create multiple ones. Let's do something really crazy, and let's add a second location. Let's say over here, and let's try to do that. That'll be really fun. Really fun. So let's add a. We have to go to logic. And yeah, actually, you probably want to use once. So this one. So basically, the so that the dialogue will be triggered only once, which is probably better, because otherwise he will, and every time you enter the trigger he will just go and say the same thing, which you probably don't want to do. So that's a good thing you can do. And okay, so we already used this anything. Yeah, anything. That kind of sounds weird. Anyway, we'll use the logic and any. We'll add entity ID. And let's see if that'll work. So basically what this should do, it should either select this or this position. So let's okay, that doesn't really work. Actually, what I think would work is didn't want that. Is creating two sequences. So basically, so now what I'm doing is I'm just copying don't say it's gonna don't say it's gonna crash now. Okay, so yeah, this will happen sometimes. My engine just crashed, and yeah, let's just try to load it again. But I have a pretty good idea on how to do that. Let's hope we didn't lose any code. Let's see. No, we didn't really lose too much. So let's add a multiplexer. Let's copy this sequence. This is down, and also want to have once and trigger the dialogue only once, so it's not that weird. And for the second one, okay, we lost something, but we didn't lose everything. Let's add entity ID in. Oh. And let's use this as a destination for the second sequence, and let's use any. That probably won't work. Or will it? No. No. That probably won't work. We won't have something like any but. Yeah, something like that. This is not really a fun part, and I don't have this triggered, so this will be a little bit. Okay, I think we found our entity. So yeah, we're gonna try this node called random select. And yeah, let's just see how it works. Let's save and jump into game. So now he's just wait, this will happen sometimes when I reload the level after crash. So meaning I just have to move the navigation area and it will automatically reload. This is a little weird. It kind of works in the game okay, but sometimes in editor I have to do that. Hey buddy, I'm over here waiting for you. This is weird. Okay, got it.
What's that?
Okay, so we activate it. Okay, so see, that's how you activate multiple directions. Absolutely amazing. So you have to create multiple sequences, and you have to use this node called random select, and you have to set the out min and out max to 1, meaning it will trigger one output at a time. And yeah, I think that's all for this tutorial. Sorry for the little experimentation here, and sorry for the crashes. And yeah, I hope you liked the tutorial. If you do, you can like the video or subscribe. Again, I'm really sorry that it took that much time to make it. And I hope to create another part, and hopefully sooner than it took to make this one. So see you in the next video.